Hey team, well it's a damp, wet, horrible day in Wellington, but this can't even dampen my spirits because it is new bike day. Let's go and check it out. Come down here to MotoNZ to pick up the new bike. I got a lot of bikes in here, but we've got our sights set on one thing. Those little red beasts over there. And this one fantastic looking RR430.
The 2022 Beta RR430 4-stroke is a high-performance dirt bike that somehow managed to become road legal. It doesn't have ABS, so don't ask me how it was able to become road legal here in New Zealand. Maybe we'll talk to Matt from onthrottle.co.nz and get the lowdown on that. But first, let's start with some stats. The engine is a 4-stroke single-cylinder liquid-cooled unit, 430.9cc. The bore is 95mm. The stroke is 60.8mm. It has electric start, fuel injected, as you would expect with most modern motorcycles, and it comes equipped with a 9-litre fuel tank, which is a little on the small side, but it's only a single banger, so it should be pretty good on gas. It has a dry weight of 108.5 kgs, so ready to go on the road. It's got to be less than about 120 kgs at a guess. The chassis is a steel double cradle design. The seat is 940mm off the ground, which is a fraction tall for my liking, but it is a dirt bike first and foremost. With a wheelbase of 1490mm, front is a 21-inch wheel and down back is an 18-inch rear. I'm kind of used to that. Up front, we've got 295mm of wheel travel, and down the back, 290mm of travel. Brakes, 2-pot front caliper, single-pot rear.
Well, that's never happened before. Random dude walking past, yelling out, "Nice bike." Doesn't even happen on the Harleys. Oh, she's windy. It's got long legs too. Oh, I feel so out of place right now in a 100km/h zone on a dirt bike in 6th gear doing 100km/h. Holy crap. What have I got myself into? The tank's so narrow that I got nothing to grip onto. Every time I get a headwind, I need to duck. I mean, the engine is brand new, so it is going to loosen up. And the weather that I'm riding into is dark. I can't see the other side of the motorway. The other side of the harbour, I should say. Probably got maybe a kilometre of visibility. I am riding into some nasty weather. Oh, and there's lightning going off as well. This is not fun. Why did I choose to ride this bike? I mean, the bike, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's got 8 kilometres on it, and it had 3 when I picked it up. On the motorway on full knobbly tyres on a single cylinder 430cc Beta motorbike, dirt bike. That's not a bad thing. I'm not saying that to put the bike down, but it's a dirt bike and I'm gonna get drenched. Oh, and the seat's hard too. Crikey, I feel like I need to be standing up. Oh, standing up makes more sense. Alright, you can't shuffle back any further. That's not going to help. Definitely don't feel like I've got the street presence to lane splitting. How did I end up riding the Beta 430RR? Well, Beta New Zealand have been kind enough to loan us this bike for about 6 months. Going to be creating all sorts of content, taking this bike to places that are a little too difficult to take your big fat adventure bikes. Oh, that's some heavy rain now. Holy cannot see a thing. There is standing water on the road. Traffic's down to about 30 kilometers per hour.
Okay, so the first ride didn't go to plan. It was an event. But let's not talk about that because we are today on the first ride off-road. Come down here to Orfero Bay. We're going to go out to Red Rocks. Got Todd with me. Todd's hiding over there. He's going to be setting up the bike for me because I'm a lazy bastard. And he's going to be supporting us on the DR650. Okay, this bike's got heaps of adjustment. We've got fully adjustable fork up front. We've got adjustable down back, adjustments up the yin yang, right?
Yes, we do. Well, I think so. That's from the photos you've sent me.
What are you doing?
So I'm just taking a little bit of pressure at the back. We'll set it at 20 psi. It was just 22. Our front's down to 14. We'll probably add some air in the front, just to make, because it is really rocky out here. More so than muddy and sandy. It's pretty rocky. We don't want to be hitting something hard and wanting to chew on your first ride out. So we'll do that. We'll add some air. 20 is probably good enough to get started. We probably would normally go a little bit less, but once again, it's really rocky and not muddy at all. So a little higher is a good place to start. It's easier to take it out and put it back in out there. And then we'll quickly set up the damping, and then we'll just go and see how it goes.
And then you let go and it drops down total. Alright.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18. 18, so that's all the way in. That should be super slow. Yes, it barely comes up. So watch how slow it comes up. Just got to the top there. So we don't want that, but we will go back for 18. We'll go back to 10. We slowed down a bit. It was a little fast. 2, 3. See how this is. Yep. Slow up. Now keep the back wheel stuck down in the mud.
And because I didn't get a shot of the front, what did you do to the front?
The front we kept the same. So you got 10 on rebound and compression in the front. We'll just keep it like that. It looks fine. And if we need to adjust the compression because it's just diving too much, we can just slow that down a little bit. But it's coming back at a good rate, so it's not coming back too slowly. So what we got here is low speed and high speed compression. So we'll just check where this is at. We don't have the tool for the preload. It'll be okay. We'll see. We'll make that judgment based on how much travel you're using. You come in and have a look here. You're probably going to bottom it out at some point, but you can see that you've used down to, I think it's about here. I can't quite see without the. It's about there. So it's all clean up here, and then down here it's still reasonably dirty. So I expect at some point you're going to bottom it out. But if you're nowhere near and you're riding pretty quick, then you might be able to take a little bit out the back.
So the outer is
High speed.
one and the inner is another?
Yep. So that's high speed compression. So it's going to be the very quick boom bumps that you hit. Then the inner one here is going to be low speed compression.
Welcome to somewhere past Red Rocks. There's the South Island. Oh, can you see that? It's out there somewhere. There, right there.
Some snow over there too. Keep going
Hey.
around. There you go.
And well, you've been watching the riding that we've been doing on the mighty Beta 430, RR 430. I got to remember the RR and the DR 650. I got sand in my mouth.
I don't. I'm sanding my eyes.
There's big chunks of it too. Every time I close my mouth, it goes crunch.
Why would we have so much sand around us at the moment, Ray?
Well, I tell you what. The Beta's got two modes. It's got rain and sun. And what I've worked out is rain mode is fantastic for following other people's trails.
Yes.
But sometimes you get stuck in their roost.
You did get stuck behind me where I bogged down in the DR a bit. Yes.
Sun mode is brilliant for making your own trails. I'm in love with this bike. This is a fantastic bike. Check out how flat the fuel tank right back to the end of the tail is. Like, it's flat. You can get right up front, get all that weight on the front wheel. You can get all the way down back and lift the front wheel real easy. You've got 9 litres of fuel. I filled it up the other night and I thought it was completely empty. It took 6 litres, so it clearly had 3 litres left in it. This is the map switcher button, sun and rain. Sun is snappier and gruntier. Rain, more than enough power, but it just tractors along. These factory tyres, oh shit. Okay. I broke an indicator.
When? Oh.
That's obviously a big rock that's crunched that.
Crink.
Okay, well, we'll be buying...
Oh, yeah, something's happened here and it's lost the screw and it's just fallen out. That's all right, just a bit of plastic.
We'll be buying another indicator at some stage, Peter. Sorry about that. We might find it on the way back.
We're going to need a Beta spares department.
But what I was saying, while I get the grit out of my mouth, these tyres, they just bite and hook up in anything. Like, get it in first gear, you can pretty much pull away on any terrain. Second gear, wind it on. I'm still getting the grit out of my mouth. Wind it on and just go.
Yeah, it's pretty sensational.
Well, we've been out here on our standard adventure bikes, our daily adventure bikes, Tenere 700 and Tiger 800, and we have never come this far around. Now let's put it in perspective, because Todd, you've ridden both bikes today.
Yep.
The DR is a fantastic bike, but what's the comparison between the DR and the RR 430?
I think the difference is when you get out of the wheel rut. So in the DR, you're following the wheel rut, and once you get out, you don't really know what's going to happen next, because you've got all that weight and you just kind of sink down in the sand in between the two wheel ruts. Or if you actually get it out of the wheel tracks altogether, you don't know what's going to happen. The only thing you can do is just power on, and hopefully you get back up onto the sand and get back to where you need to go. With the Beta, it's just like, it's okay. Like, I'm just going this way now, and then you kind of figure your way back. Because it's so light, you just kind of get on top of the sand and kind of turn where you want to turn. The DR is fine. You don't want to stop on the sand because it's really hard to get going. And you can't really steer too much because of the weight. You kind of have to go wherever the bike's going and kind of correct it slowly. That's what I noticed.
One way of putting it is that the Beta RR 430 is the bike for people with ADHD. Why? Because I'm going along this way. Oh look, I want to go over here. Oh look, I want to go over here. And you've got the control. This is the first time I've been out here and had the control to go out of a wheel track and go anywhere I like, as opposed to, oh, I better stay in this wheel track and concentrate intensely. I'm having a lot of fun on this bike. This is awesome.
All right, we're back at the car at the Orfeo Bay kind of car park area. About to get a coffee, I think. The Beta are 430. What can I say? Don't buy one, because I want them all. This is, without word of a lie, the best bike I have ever ridden off-road. Now, let's quantify that.
Yeah.
I've only ridden a couple of CRF 250Rs, early or mid 2000 models, and a WR 250 early 2003 model. But I've ridden the DR 650, I've ridden the T7, I've ridden the Tiger, not off-road admittedly. This is amazing.
What do you like about it? What do you notice?
I love that you can pull away in first gear or second gear. There's heaps of throttle. You can just wind it on when you start getting into the loose stuff. It's light, it's agile, it's flickable, it's well balanced front to back. So if you're getting into the soft stuff, you can just shuffle back on the seat a little bit and it will lift the front. If you're getting into some twisty stuff, you can just shuffle forward to get the grip on the front wheel. It's
Nice.
It's just beautiful.
Hydraulic clutch and brake.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
And apart from the minor tweaks you did on it, it's straight out of the box. Literally, it probably had half an hour on the clock when we brought it out here today.
Before you start to go a bit wild. So we set the rebound early on, and you can see now the oil's hot, you can actually see that it's too fast again. Well, it's okay, it's faster than it was before. I would probably give that another click, just to be a little bit slower for what we did. But yeah, it held up really well. You said it felt good? The suspension felt good?
Wow, you know me, I just ride them.
Yeah, I know. Interestingly, you didn't actually bottom out the forks, so that
That's
would make
good.
sense because like what we were doing is like sand and rocks. You were mostly on the back wheel the whole time. You weren't really like going into steep braking like downhill sections where you can do that, or jumps. So it's pretty good. Looks like it's set up well enough for you.
And that's good, because, well, that was my first essential off-road ride on this bike. And I've been entered in the New Zealand Enduro Round 2 at Moonshine the day after tomorrow. Stay tuned for the next episode. This is going to be a good one.